Hello there guys, and welcome to round 3 of the Season 3 IF1C Championship. I'm JWF1 and I'm joined again by OTGX Gaming.
Yes, hello Joe, welcome to Sochi. It's very nice weather here, a bit breezy, but yeah, it's a brand new circuit of course. It's only the second time that we'll be here for IF1C, so it should be a really exciting race, high speed corners, and I'm for one, I'm really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Specifically, the bit I'm looking forward to is after the second DRS straight with that curve in the middle. They have to brake whilst, if they have DRS, making sure the car is that stable going around that left-hander. It's going to be a real challenge for the drivers today indeed. Like you said, second time around this track. The first time they went around here was in Season 1, so they didn't go around here in Season 2 because that got canned after 5 rounds. But anywho, Russia should provide a very exciting race indeed after 2 very exciting races, wouldn't you say, Ole?
Yeah, we've had some fantastic races. Australia, we had a full-way scrap for the lead and a strategy one Bahrain out. So it's 2 for 2 for the Ferrari driver, but you'll be looking for the fellow Ferrari driver, Matthew Dummer, a Red Bull of Robert Hunter, and also the Red Bull of Sean Grant. You've got to remember, though, Season 2 World Champion Matthew Orange is there, so it could be a very interesting grid. And, well, it's been some really standout performances like this season. You've had Jordan Wilson, who's had a fantastic season, and Cameron Anderson, who's had a very good start as well. For Joseph Willows, who's had a poor start, he'll be looking to improve upon that. So there's going to be many people that have got going to want to get a podium and a race win. So we could find ourselves with some really tight racing here.
Absolutely right. Well, before we get anywhere, let's have a look at the lap of the track with Matt Orange. Let's have a look at a lap of the Sochi Autodrome with the Williams racing driver of Matt Orange. He's just started his lap coming out of the final corner now. He's just started the lap, he comes into turn 1, which is flat out as you go. It's similar to Valencia's turn 1, very flat out indeed, which pretty much at the start means that the run to the first corner is actually down at turn 2 technically. Through turn 2, breaking down to third gear, Matt using all the curve on the left there. Now he will go flat out through turn 4. There's a bit of traffic on the left, but luckily Dummer gets out of the way very nicely for him indeed. Around the right left-hander he goes, and now breaking down to 4th gear for turn 5. Out the corner he goes, shifting up the gears again as he'll now brake for turn 6. Down to 3rd gear again, setting a purple first sector, just clipping the curve on the outside there, and now braking through into this left right-hander there, using all the curve on the right, and then just about clipping the curve on the exit there. Into the double left-hander, Matt using all the curve on the left, just to make sure he can get the best line through that corner. Now, through the corner before the second DRS straight there, he went down into 3rd gear and now back up on the gears again. A flick up of DRS, now down at the second DRS straight. This is the trickiest DRS straight because you've got a curve in the middle of it and you have to try and turn with DRS at the same time, which is something that the car does not like. Now breaking down to 3rd gear for the final bit of the corner. Through the left-hander, using all the curve on the left as he'll now speed up for just a little bit, but then go down to 2nd gear for the 4th to last corner, lifting a little bit through the 3rd to last corner, and now a little stretch before braking into the 2nd to last corner, breaking down to 4th gear, going down 2 gears, and now entering the final corner, using all the curve on the outside, down to 3rd gear, and that is a lap of the Sochi Autodrome from the Williams racing driver of Matt Orange. So there is a lap with Matt Orange in the Williams there. Now let's have a look at the grid for today's Russian Grand Prix. Once again, it's Robert Hunter on pole position, back-to-back pole position for him, with Matthew Dummer alongside him in 2nd place. A good qualifying from him. Championship leader Ollie Glazebrook is in 3rd, with Cameron Anderson in 4th. Matt Orange is in 5th, with Ali Mania in 6th position. Jordan Wilson in the Manor is 7th, with Joseph Willows in 8th. Jake Walmsley is in 9th, with Matthew Redmore in the Sauber 10th, Waze Cuba is 11th in the Renault, and because of his back of the grid penalty that he got in Bahrain, Sean Grant will start today's race in 12th. So looking at the grid, which drivers pique your interest in making it up the field? I can imagine who you're going to say though.
Well, obviously you're going to start with Sean Grant, who starts at the back. He's in a Red Bull, he's going to want to make his way through the grid nice and quickly. You've also got Redmore in 10th, which will be interesting. As well, Robert Hunter in 1st and Glazebrook in 3rd. You've also got Orange in 5th, so they're all on the same side of the track, but they are quite spread out there. You would probably at this stage of the season say they're the 3 most likely to challenge for this title after a good performance from Hunter in Bahrain. A shame for him really, he missed Australia. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the Ferraris do because they've got a fantastic grid position. So if one of them can swamp the Red Bull at the start, maybe they could push for the first 1-2 of the season. I think the last time we've seen a 1-2 was Spain of Season 1 for the Williams. So it could be a really important weekend for Ferrari to really try and get some good constructors' points.
I think we had one after that with the McLaren at Silverstone. But anyways, yes, I think it was the last time Season 1 was when we had a 1-2. But anyway, I think it's going to be what's more important is that it's not going to be about turn 1 that's going to be the run down to get positions off the start. It's going to be mainly down to turn 2 because turn 1's just... You wouldn't really class that as a corner, would you?
Well, no, it's not much of a braking zone, as you would say. It is a turn, but it's not a braking zone, which could really be interesting. So the leader normally gets swamped into turn 1, so we could see a few chinks and crashes, but hopefully everyone gets through the first corner clean. I'm very interested to see how Anderson and Orange battle as well. If Australia and Bahrain has anything to say about it, these two could be very close to each other, which could cause some really good racing.
Absolutely. Well, let's see if that happens, because right now it's time to go to the Russian Grand Prix. So here we are then, here in Sochi, round 3 of the championship, and it's going to be very interesting to see how everyone could go around this former Olympic park.
Yes, we've got 19 corners ahead of us, Joe. It's 20 degrees outside, lovely blue skies. It's going to be a track that will test tyre wear. Not at all. It's going to be a very high-speed track. We've got some great corners ahead of us. Turn 3, a fantastic corner. Full look on that left-hand side. Turn 10 will open up that DRS zone going down. Turn 13 is tight, and turn 15 as well. 19 corners ahead of us, 13 laps. It's going to be very, very interesting. 2 DRS zones. It's going to be an interesting race.
Absolutely right, and 18 corners, 13 laps. You couldn't have asked more. We've got only 3 POVs today, and they are Ollie Glazebrook, Jordan Wilson, and Waze Cuba from 3rd, 7th, and 11th. So we're going to get some interesting POVs today. So on 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it is go here in Russia, and it seems to be a good start from the front too. Looks like Ollie's trying to get alongside teammate Dummer to potentially take 2nd place. He knows that Hunter is a very quick driver indeed, and he don't want to get away that easily. Using the slipstream of Dummer to try and get alongside Hunter. Down into turn 1, he's looking to the outside as he looks like he's outbraked himself. Through turn 1, he might have to give the position up to Dummer. Luckily, Dummer looks like he's got better tracks than him in anyway, so luckily, Glazebrook will not have to lift up too much, even though they're going side by side now. Through the left-hander, Dummer gets past him anyway. Through the right-hander, but now it seems that Dummer seems to get a bad exit out of that right-hander, and now Glazebrook is taking 2nd place. We've got a yellow flag down there for some reason, but yeah, seems to be a clean start up front at the moment.
Yeah, my error, it was 18 corners, of course. So, yeah, it was a very good start. Good start for the Ferrari there. Good side-by-side battling. It doesn't seem that Hunter's pulled away too much as you come through this corner now. It's going to be interesting what lines everyone takes. We're now going to get a restart for a replay on board with the manner of Jordan Wilson. So you can see some tyre smoke there coming from the Ferrari and Williams ahead of him. He's got some great straight line speed in that manner. He gets a good start, in, as you would say, indeed. So now he's taking that slipstream. If you're at the front, you normally get bogged down a lot, but I have to say Hunter done a fantastic job now. 3 abreast between Munir, Orange and Anderson there. Anderson cuts the corner. Orange taking the same line as Glazebrook to avoid action and hitting cars there. Yellow flags come out there as well for contact. They come through. Munir takes a very wide line. That could have opened the door up for Wilson, but it doesn't do so. So a good start for Orange, a poor start for Anderson now, who is diving it up the inside. Is that going to be a very good move there, taking the optimum opportunity there to get up the inside. But it's a very good start from most, but you can see on the minimap there a car under the yellow flag. So here we are on board with Waze Cuba. He gets a bit of wheel spin off the start. It's a fantastic start from Sean there in the Red Bull, but only gains 1 position as Waze a little bit wayward. So as you see him going into turn 1, it seems like an overall very, very clean lap, but Cuba looking, he's far off, maybe low on his old gears up as yeah. Oh blimey, a car's come in there. You'll probably know more than that about me. It seems like there's lag there as well. So a car has been sideswiped. It looks like, I think it was Willows who got taken out there. So not a good start for him. The bad start seemed to continue.
It was Willows indeed. So
more bad
start, and that's why. Look, that was the reason why the yellow flag came out. There was a little bit of contact.
Yeah, very poor starters. I had some technical issues there. I do apologise, but yeah, poor start for Willows. That's not what he wants. He seems to have the bad luck, doesn't he? It never seems to go his way in these races, but he's coming back at him now. A full lock up there from Cuba. Not ideal. He's a little bit wayward. Willow's on the back of him. He's in the quicker car. This is actually for a point, so both of them will be wanting to get this. Where's Cuba there? Defending strong, locks up his brakes. That's going to open the opportunity straight away to Willows, but Willows doesn't get. Oh, he gets past him now. It's a very late move there from Willows, so I'm not sure if he was a bit curious or a little bit defensive just in case Cuba did cut in front of him. But Willows up into 10th as Haas there, or Haas of Jake Wormsley there as Cuba getting wide there. As I said, it's a very difficult track and the track limits will be taken advantage of there. So Willow's already on the return now. Whether he pits early or not will be questionable, but he's got an upward struggle for this race.
Absolutely, as now we look at Glazebrook, it looked like Willows also made the same mistake as well from what Cuba did. But now he's looking at Bob, who seems to get a little bit of lag. Now, from what I understand, a lot of drivers were saying that there was lag in the early laps, but then it started to ease off a little bit. So hopefully we won't see this for a little bit afterwards. So at the moment, it looks like, look at Ollie at the moment. I mean, it's only lap 2, but he's already started to set a purple sector time in the first sector at the moment. And all of this lag is just pretty much bringing his teammate Matthew Dummer into this mix right now. Ollie just trying to be a little bit cautious as he can because he does not want to risk the lag taking him out of this race right now. Looks like Bob there, that didn't look like lag at all. It looked like he got a little bit wayward coming out of that corner. And yeah, as mentioned, as now he's got a 3-second time penalty for the track extending. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets taken off, of course, because it is Russia at the end of the day. It is hard to keep it on the track because it is pretty much track extending galore through there. Oh, look at that, the lag as well pretty much puts Dummer up into second place. So yeah, clearly the lag, bringing into effect in these positions right now. But clearly Ollie will not have any of that, even if it is his teammate getting a little bit wayward out of that corner.
Yeah, he's going to be disappointed there. The penalty might have been induced by lag, we don't know, but the Ferrari gets through. Whether or not it was a clean overtake on the Dummer screen there, we don't know. So the Ferrari's back through. Maybe there'll be team orders if the Drivers' Championship is up online here, but Hunter's now starting to pull away. So maybe if the lag wasn't there, Glazebrook could have been able to get past the Red Bull, but now he's got DRS, and it might be able to catch up to him a little bit. But with this lag, I think he wants a bit of clean air. He might just back off and try and game when the lag is back. But there goes Dummer very wide there, completely cutting that corner. So maybe he'll have to back off through there as he looks like he...
with the advantage, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, it looks like he backed off, but then it was lag again. So yeah, I think the lag is going to cause us to have not as much fun with the side-by-side racing as we did lap 1 there again. Wide from Dummer is now. It looks like Glazebrook's going up the inside, but then Dummer just gets a bit more lag that puts him forward. But this is bringing into play the Season 2 World Champion Matthew Orange in that Williams, who will be looking to try and take away one of his rivals' points for this Grand Prix.
Exactly, I think it looked like he nearly hit the back of Glazebrook there. May have been lag, who knows. But anywho, Glazebrook now, look at this now. Looks like Dummer had a bad exit, lag coming into effect again. Glazebrook trying to find one place where lag will not come into effect and take the position. There again, lag comes into effect, but he has DRS, so surely this should help him a little bit. Coming down the second DRS straight, is he going to get second cleanly this time from Dummer? It looks like he's got the position and no lag whatsoever, although there was a little bit of contact because of the lag, but luckily Dummer lets Glazebrook through and Glazebrook is back up into second place, but that's cost him a little bit of time to Robert Hunter. Yeah,
it's a very good move there. I know we had lag, but I have to say it's some good side-by-side racing from the two. Now he needs to try and push forward and catch up to the Red Bull of Robert Hunter.
Exactly, well he's now coming into the pits now on lap 3 of 13. Maybe he's trying to get a little bit of clear air, trying to get away from the lag that's happening, which I think around about this point it starts to wear off a little bit. But Robert Hunter there setting the fastest lap of a 1:39 there. But now the Ferrari mechanics are ready for Ollie Glazebrook. Let's see how quick this pit stop's going to be. He's going on to a set of soft tyres and it's a 2.412 second stop. Where's this going to put the Season 1 champion? I wouldn't be surprised if he goes a little bit further down the field, maybe towards the back of the field. There goes Willows, who passes him on track. Wouldn't be surprised. It looks like he's going to be joining 9th actually, because I think Cuba's actually lost a little bit of time, it seems. It looked like after Willows overtook him, it just seemed that Cuba fell back after that.
Yeah, he's come out into some clean air, but it looks like maybe the Williams could get in his way, so I'm interested to see what he does there. So he'll have to try and dispatch of that nice and quickly as... I'm going to get a replay now of where's Cuba, is it? I think, he's just missed his braking zone. Absolutely! So that's not what you want to be doing there. So Cuba's having an absolute nightmare of a Grand Prix.
Clearly the Renault is not adapting to his driving style right now. Well, now we're riding on board Jordan Wilson. We haven't seen much of him in this race, but it looks like he's on the back. He's catching a view of the battling Ali Manir and Cameron Anderson right now. Somehow they managed to keep it with a little bit of track extending side by side through turns 2 and 3 there, and they're still going side by side. This is incredible racing between Anderson and Munir.
Yeah, they're only scrapping for a few important points in 4th. This is kind of where you'd expect these two with the front runners, but you've got to remember this is an actual provisional 5th position. But Wilson, as optimistic as he is, will try and pick up on all the scraps that these two do. Is there going to be contact? Great battling from these two. So Munir, a veteran of the IF1C, and Anderson, somewhat of a rookie. He's racing a few of these, but Wilson as well, a rookie. So Alan Munir there, showing that he is a great driver and showing his veteran skills. Obviously, being a part of season 1, and he's had a great season. Then, sadly for him, he wasn't able to get as many wins as he would have liked. So now it looks like Munir's going again, but Wilson there's got DRS from this. So Munir now going side by side with Anderson. You can just see in the distance, if you zoom your eyes in nicely, they're going side by side. Looks like there's a little bit of jousting there, and it looks like, yeah, Munir cuts the corner there. No, that's Anderson. Munir's got past there. Great move from Munir, as these two now look like they're going to battle for another lap here. So whether or not, Anderson was on the prowl of orange, we don't know, but this is a great battle, and hopefully this can become a three-way scrap. Maybe one of them's coming into the pits. No, they're not, so they're continuing battling. So now we're on board with Glazebrook, who, as we said, is going to come into the clutches of Willows, and it looks like Willows is going very slowly on them old tyres. Soft tyres for Glazebrook now. Is it Willows going to dart into the pits? No, he doesn't. Side-by-side racing. It should be an easy dispatch in that Ferrari. Up the inside, nicely does it. But Willows might get DRS here. So maybe he wasn't smart there to allow him to get past him now. But Willows might get DRS depending on the gap behind him. Will we look behind? We don't know. But, his cars are coming in the pits now. We have to keep an eye on that. Hunter's come out, and the undercut hasn't worked, but Hunter is up the road there. So he's lost a little bit of time, but considering the lag, I think he might be trying to jump his teammate. So he could be back up into provisional 2nd place, and we'll try now to push and gain onto Hunter as we're back onto this battle. The Manor, the Force India Force India has dropped behind again, the Toro Rosso. So it's a really good battle at the moment, going for what is at the moment P3, but will end up being for P5 eventually.
P4 actually, but yes, very good battle indeed between these three. In fact, it looks like Aluminier and Cameron still battling side by side for these bits. These two are equal peckings right now. Force India versus Toro Rosso. You would expect it quite a lot from two very similar cars, you'd have to expect, but now Cameron seems to have got Ali back ahead there into just going under the bridge there, and now that's just brought Wilson even closer to those two. As will one of them be pitting? Looks like Wilson there just clipped the wall a little bit going through there, and no, looks like Wilson staying out a little bit longer. We're on board with Waste Cuba, who's just, like you said, just having a nightmare right now. The understeer just kicking in, and now it's just brought Walmsley, and I believe that's Grant behind to try and overtake him. And again, look at that, it's just prevented Walmsley going through right now. And wow, just a bad day in the office for Cuba, it has to be said. As you go around the left hand, it looks like Sean lost the back end, and it's now just speared Walmsley into the wall there. That's such bad luck indeed there, losing the back end there. Cuba losing it a little bit, and ooh, looks like he speared into the side of Sean Grant. So the bad day in the office for Cuba is just getting from bad to worse, and now he's going to have to pit for a new front wing.
Yeah, two questionable things there from Grant after what happened in Bahrain, so maybe the stewards will investigate that. Not sure if it was his fault exactly, but to be involved in 2 incidents in 2 corners is never a good sign for a driver, so maybe the stewards will investigate that one. But for Cuba, as you say, it's gone from bad to worse. Maybe he couldn't get his tyres, the lock-up there with no front wing as well, so maybe Cuba will have to adjust his brakes to stop the lock-ups. As now the Manor is in the pits, and let's see if he's able to get some time there on the Force India of Munir. He comes into the pits. Munir is now going to come out, so I don't think he's going to jump him, but he might gain some time. A set of medium.
Wait, what's he on?
He's on a set of wet tyres. I thought it was mediums for a sec, but no, he's gone onto a set of wet tyres. So Wilson's race, we thought Cuba's went from bad to worse. This one has gone from dry to wet. So now Wilson's race is absolutely gone from him, and he's going to look likely to be scrapping for minimal points here if he can make his way around the track. I'm not even sure if he's going to get points. I mean, he should be ahead of Cuba, but even at that, that's going to be a push. And here comes Redmore in the Sauber up the inside. He can't do anything about that. He's just got no grip. Maybe he saw the clouds and thought, hey-oh, there could be a chance for me here, but it's a bit early for wets, my son. As it's speeding in the pit lane there in a different language. Sadly, I don't speak Flemish, so I can't give you a translation, but what I can tell you is it's likely that it said speeding in the pit lane now ahead of you. Is that? Let's have a look. I think this is going to be. It's another corner cutting warning. So from Glazebrook there, that's the second one. First one was questionable. Second one maybe shouldn't have been done. So yeah, I would have to say that was poor from him. And I have to say then that's not very good. But Cuba is that's Sean Grant who's crashed it down there at the straight. So only Sean Grant can crash it at a straight. He's the king of crashing, is the name that some people have given him. So as Granville now and then wet tyres. But that was an incredible lap. We've had a car going on wet tyres, we've had a car crashing out, and we've also had a corner cutting penalty. So it looks like this race could be well and truly in the hands of Robert Hunter now.
Absolutely. It's now the safety car has come out for Sean Grant's crash, and Willows was ready to overtake Wilson, but Wilson, looking at the safety car came out, he can now ditch them wet tyres, but it will put Willows in front of him, because I think Willows has already made his pit stop, so Willows will not need to pit again. He could just get to the end of the race, but it's already been a disaster right now for Wilson, who now pits for dry tyres. I think the reason why he actually went onto the wet tyres is because, just to let you know, Jordan Wilson actually runs with wheel, and the wheel users also find it a little bit tricky to change tyres, and clearly it's happened to Wilson, and as a result he's rushed too much to the point where he's accidentally put wet tyres on instead of the tyres he's meant to be on now, which is the softs. So yeah, a pretty weird one that indeed, as now he rejoins out of the pit lane right now. He should rejoin behind Walmsley and in 10th, and he should, as we now ride on board with Ollie Glazebrook right now, who I think, is he going to be diving into the pits? Yes, he is. So the championship leader pitting on lap 8 of the race, and I think that's Robert Hunter in front as well.
Yeah, both of them coming into the pits, so this could be an interesting dart, but will they have a gap? I mean, if Matt Orange and Matthew Dummer decide that they don't want to come in, but I'd be surprised if they didn't. I mean, who wouldn't put on a set of super softs with the pace around this track? But I don't think, no. Orange and Dummer look like they're staying out. So, will these two be able to jump it now? With the delta time, here comes Orange. It looks like he's got past, but will he be able to jump him? They've gone past Glazebrook. Will they get ahead of Robert Hunter? Here we go now. Will they be able to? We can look at the map now. It looks like Hunter has actually got ahead there. So Hunter, very, very lucky. But that's actually really seriously going to help Hunter. So it's worked out an absolute treat for him, that one. But for Glazebrook, it doesn't look like it's helped them at all in that one.
Yeah, Wilson looks like he's come back into the pits as well. So clearly getting onto them soft tyres and probably ditching them for a set of super softs towards the end of the race. So into the pits then comes Jordan Wilson for, I think, the third time now, an impromptu third stop, unfortunately, and he puts on a set of super softs as predicted right now. Yes, and what? Hunter's been disqualified as he hit the safety car, and as a result, look at this, Dummer's also been disqualified as well. Is it that glitch again? There's been a little bit of a glitch with the safety car if the leader crashes into it, and oh, we've got a red flag. We have got a red flag, and wow, on lap 9, and race control, the race will not be restarted. Results will be taken before the safety car was deployed. So Hunter looks like he might get the win here. Let's have a look. It looked like Glazebrook caught a glimpse of it. So he comes around this left-hander, and I believe once he comes out of it, look what he sees. Look at this. Hunter has crashed into the safety car, and as a result, it's bring up a glitch that's pretty much said that they are falling behind the leader. So as a result, it looks like the race has now ended on lap 9. So surely Robert Hunter is the winner. But look at the timing screens. It says Ollie Glazebrook has won. Now I'm being reported that Robert Hunter, as a result of hitting the safety car, has actually been disqualified from the actual result, with the stewards claiming that he caused an avoidable accident with the safety car. So as a result, it's 3 wins in a row for Ollie Glazebrook. What sort of luck is that, do you think? But anywho, after a strange race and an impromptu ending, Ollie Glazebrook wins with Matt Orange in second place. Matthew Dummer picks up his first podium in third, with Cameron Anderson in fourth, Ali Munir fifth. Then it is Matthew Redmore who picks up Sauber's first points in sixth. Then it is Jordan Wilson seventh, Joseph Willows in eighth, Jake Walmsley ninth, and Waze Cuba rounds out the points in 10th position. And then you had Sean Grant who retired, and then Robert Hunter who got disqualified. In the Drivers' Championship, Ollie Glazebrook now increases his lead even further ahead of Matt Orange, who is now getting away from Anderson and is officially in second place in front of Anderson. Dummer is in third, with Wilson fourth. Munir is in Wilson is in fifth, Munir is in sixth, Willows seventh, Hunter eighth, then it is Moore on ninth, Redmore up to 10th, Grant 11th, then it is Walmsley 12th and Cuba in 13th, and then the rest are still on 0 points in the championship. In the constructors, Ferrari have increased their lead even further. They are a whopping, and I say whopping, 42 points in front of Williams. Toro Rosso are in third, with Manor looking good in fourth despite having one driver only score points for them. Force India are in fifth, with Red Bull in sixth, McLaren 7th, Sauber 8th, Haas 9th, and Renault are in 10th. But if you look at it, Ollie, all 10 constructors have now scored at least a point. Who would have thought that after 3 races?
Yeah, that's a very incredible stat as well. Another stat for you, Joe. This is the first time in IF1C history that in the first few races, a Mercedes-powered car hasn't won a Grand Prix. Now, in Season 1 of the first round, we had the Mercedes win. In Season 2 at Australia, we also had a Mercedes win. We had Williams' win, and as well. So that's a really, really good start to the season. It's going to be a really close, and I'm a bit ashamed. I'm a bit upset, really, we didn't get to see that climax, because both of the leaders were on super softs. You had 2 cars on softs. It could have been a really good battle going into the final few laps, but sadly for us, we won't get to see that battle. But congratulations goes up to the Ferrari team of 1-3, which is really good for their constructors as well. Matthew Orange is keeping his title hopes alive, and as well to all of the teams that took part. I think Hunter will be very disappointed with that performance. You know, it was an avoidable action from what we've heard from the stewards, so he'll be kicking himself, but he'll be looking forward to Spain, the track that he himself has said is one of his better tracks and his rivals aren't very good at.
Absolutely. So that's pretty much opinions now. Before we go, just a couple of incidents to talk about. The incident that Josie Willows had at the start, he was given a bit of a warning for that, because he pretty much went through a move that pretty much was about to shut. So he has apologised, and he will accept a warning from the stewards about that. If he does it again, then he'll get a further punishment. Also, Sean Grant, it was concluded that the incidents that happened with him, Walmsley and Cuba, were not his fault. It was all due to driver error, so no penalties were issued as a result of that, especially Cuba's, as he was losing the back end a lot, same as Sean. It was a mistake that was unavoidable, really. And I think that was it. We didn't have really that many incidents that happened. Overall, apart from the track extending, it's been relatively clean, you'd have to say.
Yeah, considering turn 1 there was no incidents, there's just hope now that when we go to Spain, one of the longest start-finish straights on the calendar, we'll have a really good start to that race. You know, we're going to have some good side-by-side racing, and I for one am just enjoying this season so far. There's been some really good quality of racing, and it looks like we have a championship battle already starting to emerge. My money is on there being a battle between Glazebrook, Hunter, Orange, and with the outside chance of maybe Matthew Dummer as well. So I think it's going to be a 3-way scrap with the outsiders maybe picking up wins here and there. I'm not sure about you, Joe, but I for one am very excited for the next Grand Prix at Spain.
Absolutely, and that is the next race as well. The next race taking place at the Spanish Grand Prix at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. For round 4 of the championship, we're already 3 races down. We've still got 14 races to go, and I cannot wait for those 14. And yes, it does look like we might have a championship scrap on our hands this season, which was kind of missed last season. But anyway, that has been it here in Russia. A very impromptu ending to the race. Hopefully we won't get that in the next few races. But anyway, I've been JWF1, he's been OTGX Gaming. Any last words?
Well, what can I say? There was no major track limits at this one, so yeah, very good clean racing, and hopefully we can see some really nice side-by-side action. And of course we missed a few drivers this weekend as well. Michael Moron, who was looking quite sharp at some of the previous Grand Prix, so yeah, let's hope for some really good racing. Absolutely.
Well, we'll hope. So from me and OTG, it's goodbye, and we will see you in Catalunya.